yourself is an extraordinarily useful thing to do, and you could also think about that in a more comprehensive way as the goal of, say, psychotherapy and personality transformation. A lot of what's happening as you mature and develop as a personality is that what you are, whatever that means, I guess it's your behaviors and your potential, and I don't know exactly what potential is, but your behaviors and your potential can be increasingly organized at a high level of consciousness, articulated at a high level of consciousness. And articulation is a funny word, because partly it means joint articulation. You know, your hands are very articulated, and that's why you can do a lot of things with them. And hands and speech are very tightly related, which is why most people's speech centers are in the same hemisphere as their dominant hand. Anyways, articulating yourself makes you able to do many more things with yourself, and it also seems to quell your negative emotion, partly because it's clarifying you, you know. The more you leave things muddy in your life, the less defined things are around you, the more active your stress response systems are, because if things are murky and undefined, your stress systems basically assume that there are alligators and snakes and predators hiding in all that fog and gloom, and that you're in a very dangerous environment. But if you clarify that with careful attention and articulation, you can clear away the fog and the gloom, and that only leaves you with your actual problems, which, once defined carefully, you might find manageable. And an example of that would be, you know, when you go into your room and you haven't done your homework for a while, and there's piles of papers piling up, or maybe there's piles of junk on your computer, it doesn't really matter. And you'll have a very powerful tendency to avoid that. Not even to look at it, right? You don't even want to look at it, because and that's chaos. It's sort of growing in your environment, and there's a specific part of your brain which evolved to detect snakes that deals with such little chaotic piles of undone business, and the more of those that are around you, psychologically or physically, the more negative emotion you experience, the less hope you experience, and the larger your stress response chronically. And that's not good, because if your stress response is chronically elevated, that suppresses your immunological function. It makes you overweight, it predisposes you to diabetes and cancer, it makes you age faster, it increases the probability that you'll have anxiety disorders and depression. It's a bad thing. So clarifying who you are and what you're doing is a good thing, unless you want all those other things to happen, which seems highly improbable, although people desire some very strange things, and that's part of what we'll talk about as this course progresses. Okay, so
clean up your room. Then you'll know what to do next. I had a girl come up to me last night. She said, I started cleaning up my room, and it completely changed my life. She said, your room is an externalization of your mind. And that's right. That's exactly true.